Hey guys, what's up? This is the Man vs. Wheelchair podcast, where we talk about shortcuts, secrets, and truths we wish we knew 20 years ago about being disabled. Together, let's take over your disability with a winning mindset and learn to live life the way you want. You know, and you can truly be prosperous. And, you know, in 2018, you can be prosperous no matter what, you know? I mean, well, maybe not no matter what, but in our situations, you can truly prosper in the world. You can, you know, you have a beautiful wife and 3 kids, you know, and no one's to say you can't do that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like I went from living with my parents, you know, in the back room playing my PlayStation all day long to, you know, having my own job. Actually, I owned a business first, but then I have a job. You know, I'm an office manager. I have, like you said, a wife and kids. And I mean, I put that out there for myself to want it. But you know, I never really thought that I would accomplish that. But I put it out there to be accomplished. You know, and like I said, I mean, it's that goal that you really want it, but in the back of your mind, you're like, oh man, is that really going to happen? But it did. Yeah. You know, it really did. So, you know, I just had to get the right attitude, and I had to, like I said, put one foot in front of the other and just go for it. And I couldn't let anybody stop me, especially me, because I'm the only one that can stop me.
Absolutely. And, you know, now you say that, it's so true that you're the only one that can stop you. Because if you develop these things, like a good personality, and people want to be around you and they want to take care of you, they'll help you no matter what. You want to... you want to travel, make the plans and they'll help you. Or you want to, you know, go to concerts, they'll help you. You have to develop those relationships. I think that being physically disabled to the point where it's difficult to move around and do things yourself, you have to become a people person. And you have to develop those interpersonal skills, because it's just so hard to accomplish things if you don't have these people to help you. And you have to understand that there are a lot of people, and if some people don't want to help you do those things, then they're probably not the right people to be in your life, or at least to expect to help you. But there are plenty of people that don't mind and will go the extra mile to help you out if you're good to them.
Well, you know, this is one of my favorite stories about this exact thing. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so, I was at a party, and I got invited by some friends, and we got there, and the party started to get a little bit more intense than what I wanted. We'll just put it that way. And I didn't really want to be at the party anymore. But I didn't have my wheelchair with me. Long story short, I was in the car just driving around, and my wheelchair was at home. And the buddy I was with was like, "Hey, there's a party. Let's go." So we went into the party, and he carried me in. You know, and I was there for a while and realized this really isn't a place that I need to be right now. So I texted some of my buddies that were in town. Well, there's about 5 of them that came to this party, and they're like, "Hey man, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah, would you mind?" And they're like, "No, you know, our friend's house is right down the road. We'll just go there." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Where's your car?" And they're like, "None of us have a car. We'll walk." So I'm like, well, how are you going to get me? And right about that time, 5 people picked me up, and they carried me like 4 blocks. Like, it had to have been the funniest thing, you know, like my clothes were being ripped off, and, you know, because, you know, people trying to hold on to me and whatnot. And somebody would carry me for about 100 yards and then pass me on to somebody else, you know, and it's a memory that all of us have that is so fun, you know, and it was so much fun. But there's no way that if I was a jerk and if I didn't have a good personality, that they would be willing to literally carry me, you know, however many blocks just to hang out. They probably wouldn't have even come to the party to begin with, to check on me, but it's that loyalty of that friendship loyalty. And, that's what you want to look for. And that's, anytime I needed somebody, they would be there. And it wasn't because I was disabled. It's because I was their friend and I was nice to them. And it also put something within them because they did recognize that I do need things more than other people, that it made it that much more important for them to want to help me. But first and foremost, I was their friend, and they enjoyed being around me. But also, he really needs help right now. So I'm gonna drop what I'm doing and go help.
And you have to realize that, like, if somebody new is helping you out, there's gonna become a point where you meet somebody new at school or at work or whatever. Like, okay, first and foremost, you're probably a person in a wheelchair, disabled to them, right? Would you agree? Okay.
Yeah.
So then, that already comes with, preconceived ideas, which aren't always wrong. But there will become a point eventually where they get past that and they just start to see you as a person. They forget about the wheelchair. And if they don't like your personality, if you haven't developed it and you haven't put some effort into, making people be a joy around you, they're just going to see you as, someone that they don't want to hang out with. And it's not because you're in a wheelchair or it's not because you're disabled. It's because of other reasons.
Exactly. And I can't even think of like certain I don't know exactly how I want to say this, but like I can't imagine. I'll put it that way. Putting myself in a situation now. I maybe whenever I was really younger, but like me and my I'm 33 years old, so I'm fairly developed in my personality and who I am. But I can't put myself in that mindset of being ungrateful, being a jerk, being just like a non good person pretty much, and still having other people wanting to be around me.
Yeah, it's not it's not like long term. It can't be long term.
Right. And everybody has good days, everybody has bad days. Typically, if you're if you have a disability of some sort, you usually have harder, I won't say bad days, but usually have harder days than good days. At least it comes and goes in waves, different seasons, And so, and my friends, thankfully, they understand enough that they can identify absolutely whenever I'm having a bad day or if something is going on. I don't have to say a thing. They automatically know. And they're like, man, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. What do you need? What can I do to help? And how blessed am I to be able to be there? But I only got there because I put in the work to get to that point. And that's what's important. It's like I invested myself. We talked earlier about value. I put value on friendship first and foremost. Like I can't even get a drink by myself. Someone has to get me a drink. Right. So before I even ask someone for a drink, I always try to have some sort of a conversation, some way to connect with them, so that way it's not just, I need you for this. I need you for that. You have to do my bidding. I want to make sure that I'm communicating, that I'm at least offering some kind of emotional connection between you of, I value you as a person, but I also appreciate the fact that you help me. I'm very grateful for that. And these are all part of things that you have to be conscious of. When I was in grade school, I was in I think it was in the 8th grade actually. I had an assistant that went around, class to class and helped me and stuff. And one day he looked at me and he's like, "Man, do you ever say thank you for anything?" and like, it was shocking to me because in my mind, I thought I was saying thank you for everything.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. It was weird. It was like I thought I was, but it wasn't coming out, or I don't know what it was. So I apologized to him, and so now I'm extremely conscious of every time somebody does something for me. I try to say thank you, and what hurts sometimes, I'm married, is whenever my wife does something, and you might forget, or you might forget 2 or 3 times in a row, and the next thing you know, it's been a week and she's helped you an entire week and you haven't said thank you. And I know that sounds like a jerk thing to do, but it just, you get into these ruts, and I don't ever want to do that. And I don't like it when that happens. I want my wife to know that I'm completely in love with her, and I am so grateful for everything that she does for me. And even if I forget to say thank you, I hope that she knows that I am thankful. And she does. We've had that conversation before. But even still, I try to say it just to, and even if it sounds like a broken record player, I want people to know that I'm thankful. But just saying it isn't the same thing as meaning it, because it can just be empty words. So my relationship with them is what I try to use to prove that I truly am thankful. So that way, whenever I say it, even though I might say it, 5,000 times a day, it's not just words. It's, they know that I'm thankful because of the other elements of my life with them. That's not focused around them helping me. That I have gratitude just for them as people as well.
Yeah, that's got to be like one of the number one things. Once you get that mindset shift in attitude, and you start getting out of like the sourness of being, however you are, that you absolutely have to develop a sense of gratitude for I mean, this doesn't always work for everybody, but just that it's not worse. It could be so much worse. And, your personal life and your health, it could all be worse. And I think a sense of gratitude, I mean, you have to have it. You have to have it. And
I don't know if this is what you're talking about. For me, it's like, I have to first have gratitude of life.
Yeah.
And once I appreciate that, I've been given life, and then have the gratitude of, well, I might have, X disability, whatever it is, but I'm still able to do this. And I don't really like saying, well, at least I'm not like that guy.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but I mean, it's true.
But it is true. I mean, it could be worse. I have muscular dystrophy. I have feeling all over my body, which is wonderful, and that's so much better than, a person that doesn't have feeling, and I can't even imagine putting myself in that situation, which is why I never say, I know what you feel, or like, I know how you feel. It's like, no, you don't. You have no idea. Just like, I'm disabled, you're disabled. I have no idea how you feel. You don't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like. Yeah, I remember one time this lady came up to me, and she patted me on the hand, and she said, "Oh, honey, I know exactly how you feel being in that wheelchair. I twisted my ankle one time, and I had to sit in a wheelchair when I was at the hospital."
That's ridiculous.
I'm like, okay, well, she was trying at least, but but that's kind of how I take that, and I appreciate her trying to connect with
right.
me in some way.
I'm sure that's what it was. She was just trying to, create a connection.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't want to do that, make that type of mistake with another person. Just because I'm disabled, that doesn't put us in the same category. That doesn't put us in the same mindset. That's completely different. I don't want to make that mistake. I want to first focus on me. I want to have gratitude of life, and then I want to be thankful that it's not as bad as what it could be, and then I can start moving forwards.
Thanks for listening to the Man vs. Wheelchair podcast. If you guys got this far, that's amazing, and I hope you got some value, and I want you to do one more thing for me. Go to manversuswheelchair.com and sign up to join the club. That's where we're going to give you exclusive content and more tips on how to level up in life. So go to that right now. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to hit that follow button.